Smart devices are pretty big right now, as is social sharing. So how about this? What if I tell you there's a point-and-shoot camera that can also operate as your smart device, and I really mean a full-on smart device. What am I talking about? Well, let's just watch this to find out more. One of my favorite words in the entire world is amalgamation, combining several things to make one end product. When I was a kid, I remember reading about DC Comics, meaning the Marvel Comics, and they amalgamated into one universe and you had some really cool characters. Well, effectively, that is what has happened with the Samsung Galaxy camera. Now, obviously, the Galaxy series has become incredibly popular. So this time, the engineers have come up with something for all those people that like to share their pictures. What am I talking about? Well, remember a couple of years ago, you had to go through your backpack to find your camera. Nowadays, a lot of people carry it around, but they also have it on their smartphones, so they might not even need to carry one. So how about combining two things in order for you to share your pictures, yet also take your pictures? So let's just take a look at it. From the front, it looks like any old regular camera. We have the white model, as you can see. However, you flip it around right there, and it looks pretty much like, give or take, a Galaxy S3. Yep, the phone itself. So let me just switch it on, and you get a better indication. Now, it's very, 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 very nifty in this sense because this touchscreen really is very, very nice. And in fact, it's even running on Android, Jelly Bean, as a matter of fact. So obviously nowadays, you get quite a few cameras which have got Wi-Fi built in. Even something like the GoPro, the new one, has got Wi-Fi. This one, however, operates on Jelly Bean. Now, what this means is you can obviously download all the apps. If you're, say, into Instagram, there's the Instagram app. So open Instagram, take a picture, upload it straight away. And obviously with the quality of the lens being much better than a normal, well, camera phone, it should be able to take some pretty nifty pictures with a whole bunch of settings that you yourself can tweak because it is a camera at the end of the day. Let me put that down. Now, not only is it Wi-Fi, it is also on 3G, which means you can just pop in your SIM card. There's a slot down there at the bottom. That's where the battery is, the micro SD card slot, and obviously the SIM card as well. So choose a data plan, and you can literally use this wherever you go. Now, with that in mind, it really is an Android device. The only thing you can't really use is something like WhatsApp because you need a mobile phone number attached to it. Apart from that, you get the full Google Play Store experience. I mean, even the OS here, when you slide this down, you have all of your notifications. Flight mode on a camera. How often do you actually see that? Pretty nifty if you ask me. Let's talk about performance now. Taking normal pictures in natural light like such, pretty well balanced. Low light wasn't spectacular, but for the specs, it's pretty nifty. You can also shoot 1080p video and also take photos whilst it's shooting the video, so I quite enjoy that little feature. Now, there are a whole bunch of Android features that have been brought into this camera, so obviously if you are a novice, this makes it very easy to use. All the filters, etc. And with a whole host of applications that you can get from the Play Store for your camera. If you're using an Android phone, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That means filter lists are pretty much endless as long as they keep creating those apps. So big fan of it in that aspect. Now, size-wise, well, it is pretty large. You're talking 11 ounces, so it's rather heavy in that aspect. And also 5 inches wide, as you can see right there. So pretty large if you ask me. You're going to struggle to fit this into your pocket. Now, this is simply because it's got things like 21 times zoom, etc. So there's all these features packed. They can't really make it too slim. Oh, well, that's the way it goes. Also, this is quad-core. You're also talking using 3G, Wi-Fi, and a whole host of other things. Means the battery life is not great, whereas most other cameras will be able to charge just one element at a time. There's so many things going on inside that you'll struggle to make this last a day if you're going to go out on holiday and start taking snaps wherever you are. Now, that is a bit of a downer. Luckily, you can take out the battery and put in another one, or you have to carry your charger around and keep plugging it in, which, again, a little bit of a downer considering some Micro Four Thirds cameras can go for a pretty long time, and SLRs can go even longer than that on a single charge. So what do I think about the Samsung Galaxy camera in closing? Well, I just have to add one more thing. The fact that you can do some expert settings, as they call it, you know, the ISO, aperture, etc. So you can change stuff to suit your needs. Obviously, not as good as an SLR, but it'll definitely do the job on this. Now, for all the novices out there, with the whole host of Android features alone for camera filters and settings, plus everything available from the Play Store, there's a whole host of options for you to take your pictures and instantly snap and share. If you are a heavy user of something like Instagram, this could be the perfect camera for you. Now, like I mentioned before, the minus point would be the battery. With everything operating here, well, it will drain very, very fast if you're going to continuously take pictures. Say you're on holiday, you probably have to carry a spare battery or charger with you. Now, obviously, another key factor I haven't really talked about, being a phone, or rather a device where you can put a SIM card in like a phone, you need to pay a bill. You need to pay for the SIM card, you know, for your internet usage. So that's another little bit of a bummer. But hey, it's okay if you're willing to take the charge, if you can get the cheapest plan available. Now, it does sell for $1899. You can get it bundled with a data plan for cheaper, obviously, but I'll leave that to you to find out, depending on which telco you are with. Now, this is just the first generation of the amalgamation of camera and a sharing device like a mobile phone, so I cannot wait for the next iteration of this to see exactly what the Samsung Galaxy Camera 2 would have to offer.
There are lots of things that put a smile on my face. One is discovering new places, and the other is knowing that I'm never alone in life. I'm Winston Fior. I'm a former U.S. Marine, and I'm on a 5,000-mile hike to raise funds for children living with clefts in the developing world. I started Smile Trek not just to raise money, but ultimately to raise awareness, which is a big part of getting these kids the confidence that they deserve. And in the process, I've actually gained a little confidence myself.
So here, standing next to me, is Winston. So himself, he's a U.S. Marine, and he's a power user of Google products. So I would like to ask you, Winston, so initially, I understand that you have been traveling a lot, and you have been traveling a lot because of certain costs. And then during that period of time, you use a lot of Google products. And how has Google products helped you along this journey?
Oh God, how have Google products not helped me? I've been, you know, dependent on Google products every single day this trek. You know, ranging from mobile apps such as Google Translate, not speaking any languages in Southeast Asia, Google Maps, and various features within that app of, you know, Google walking directions, for instance. I would use Google walking directions every day to route that trek's day. You know, the list goes on. But yeah, I guess I would be a power user. First time I've heard that term. But yeah, that's kind of some of the ways that I would use their products.
Do you have any examples that you can give us, like at one point of time you are in certain emergency, like?
Sure. Yeah, there was one instance in particular where a certain mobile app, Google Translate, came extremely handy. I was walking through Thailand. It was the night before I entered Bangkok. And luckily, I was only a mile away from the lodging house I was going to be staying in that night. But I'm walking along, and this pack of stray dogs runs up on me, and one of them actually bites my calf and breaks the skin, so I'm bleeding. So very concerned. Obviously, rabies is no joking matter. So I make it to the lodging house, drop my stuff off, go to the front office, and not speaking any Thai, and the lady who ran the place not speaking any English, immediately launched the app, you know, typed in something to the effect of, "I've just been bitten by a dog, I need to get to a hospital." She read it, understood, flagged a scooter, and then 10 minutes later, I was in the ER, in the emergency room, getting the shots that were required.
So Google product is also a lifesaver.
Yeah, exactly. In that instance, definitely. Yeah.
So another question I would like to pose would be that you've been on your own most of the time, meaning that you rely on technology a lot. Is there any other thing that you hope Google would provide, a kind of services maybe, that would fill your needs, that you see that, oh, I need this, but probably they don't really have it yet?
I'm sure there are lots of things. It's tough to think of stuff that hasn't been created yet. I can tell you the essentials, though, have already, you know, been taken care of. You know, language, location, navigation, you know, getting where I need to go every day. So I could be wrong, but I imagine that, you know, any kind of newer developments would probably be kind of supplementary stuff. You know, unless we're in a day of, you know, I don't know, flying automobiles or something crazy like that. But yeah, I'd say I was definitely covered.
But for one thing for sure, we are looking forward to Google Glass, for example, or maybe play a little bit of Ingress and like AR, augmented reality. But those kind of things is like not, like you said, it's supplementary.
Right. Yeah.
It's not really like the core needs that each of one.
Would be nice to have, but
have.
not essential. Yeah. Okay. Not essential to my purposes. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Winston. Thank you for your time. So we'll see you again. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Cherish. Appreciate it.